it's me, Dr. Ivor Robotnik, and I've been snooping as usual on the Hedgehog's new outing, the new gameplay reveal.
Yes, we are talking about Sonic Frontiers. It's me, Dim Sony. Welcome back to the streaming world. Today's video, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the new trailers that we've seen, the gameplay stuff that we've seen. I just had a look at it like yesterday, and okay, it's worrying. It's very worrying. Yeah, let's just have a look at it. Really, I decided I wanted to. Excuse me. Take a glance at it. Watch through the trailer and see. Well, watch through the gameplay and see if it, like, what elements of it I wanted to talk about a little bit, because I've watched it a little bit, and I think there are certain things that are really worrying, right? And beyond just the visual elements and the polish stuff, really, there's more to it than that for me. I don't know exactly what the release time frame is supposed to be, but if I just Google it for a moment, let's see. Sonic Frontiers release expected. When is it? Well, it just says 2022. Okay, so we're talking by the end of this year maximum, right? Okay, if it's 2022. All right, so I don't know. Let's have a look. Let's pop over here. Oh, actually, before we do that, yep, new Eggman model. I've gone with the old Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog look for the belly. It's very simple and neat, and it kind of suits this aesthetic. Although I've got his new shoes on there as well, and you'll notice that the character model has actually scaled out a little bit. So I've added a little bit to that. There you go. This is the regular sized model, and then we've got Patrick, a little bit fat, but I need to work on his. And then we've got the proper Eggman shape. He's a literal egg shape, but there we go. Right, so let's. What's going on? Oh yeah, I was trying to jump to point 2 for some reason. Anyways, let's have a look at this trailer, because it's not how I want it to be. it's really a questionable one, right? So here we go. Just pressing play. I'm just gonna have a look at this. I've got it running on YouTube here. Immediately, I know everyone probably noticed this straight away. Pretty much everyone's talked about this as well. The stream loading is just bad. Like, it's really, really bad. Almost anything just outside view is just completely removed from the scenery. I'll talk about that in a moment, actually, because I think it's a little bit worse than we might have thought. It's you would expect that, okay, maybe it's just an early build, they haven't finished the stream load system. You need to realize this is a game built on top of an engine. The stream loading feature it's not a game level feature. It's gonna be at the engine, like at the core. And having done a little bit of AAA work, I'm gonna tell you straight up, if that is engine level tech and there's a game built on it, the fact that like, expecting that to change at all, I don't believe there's any part of that that's going to be changing at all, right? Just like, don't expect it. Don't expect any changes from engine tech right now. Yeah, the movement system, very, very slow right now, but there's more to it than that. Like, there's a little bit of sort of telekinesis type attacks, which I don't really like. I feel like it needs to be a little bit more visceral, a little bit more close to the world here, but not too bad. Like, his regular movement is not terrible, but there is definitely a problem that I can see with it. I want this to feel more like a next-gen type game, but it definitely is not trying to be that at all. Like, they are, right now, this is a tech demo of the engine, right? They are showing off the engine tech. They're trying to say, look at our new engine. It's really cool. It really looks nice, but they're not really showing off a new look to something. I mean, the engine is really not even designed very Sonic friendly at all, in terms of the world generation, right? That level structure is not Sonic friendly. Obviously they've added rails and stuff, and immediately here is one of the things that I point out, right? So why is he sliding up the rail with no logical reason as to why he can do that, right? Why isn't he performing animations to kick himself to push himself so that he can carry on grinding upwards over the rail, right? They need to add some element of something new. It needs to go a step further. You need to go a step further from what we've seen before. We've seen Sonic grinding on rails. Make it high quality now. Sonic Generations has nicer looking rail grinding than this game. But here is where, again, the same thing happens here, right? Where you've got him crawling slowly up walls. I don't understand why Sonic isn't stronger in terms of his strength to pull his body up, right? Even when he gets into a sort of creep and climb section, he should be able to climb much more smoother than this. He's kind of stop and go, and then suddenly it just immediately transitions. Actually, there's no transition, right? There's no smoothness to it. It just sort of becomes running. He's climbing, and that's it. And it's smooth. It's just immediate transition. Why? Why is he able to just suddenly switch into a run, right? You need to have a system in place where he actually pulls himself and suddenly shoots himself forward. There needs to be some level of transition from one piece to another piece of movement. It needs to act. I mean, they're trying to. His movement system is very Mario style in terms of his character control system behind the scenes here, but they're not doing the thing that Mario games do, right? Which is you take each animation and you make sure those transitions between the states have a logical basis. There needs to be a motion. There needs to be emotion as well. It needs to make sense every single time he performs an action or switches from one to the other. Here you can see a real problem. Look at the stutter on him. Look at him bouncing up and down on the ground. What on earth is going on here? He's just stuck to the ground and there's no smoothing at all, right? Look at him bouncing. You can see it right here. His head's bobbing up and down, and that's not his animation. He's just bouncing on the ground, like because of the ground movement here. That is not a polished thing, right? There's some smoothing that needs to go on the character controller. It needs to be built for that. I don't believe that this is a polished character control system. And right at this stage, right, if you've got less than a year left, that should be finished. The character controller is finished at this point, right? This is the final version. Any smoothing that is done on that is going to be risky, right? Because you make any modifications to that, you're going to be affecting a major element. There's a game built on this character controller. You can't screw with that, right? So it's very, very worrying. And then, loop-de-loop. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Again, so here, look at his motion. He goes up. His animation is just one animation, right? Looping. There's no blend of him realizing his motion. He's going upwards. He should be kind of dealing with the fact that he's going upwards. He's going downwards. He should be dealing with the fact that he's going downwards. Mario 64 was doing this with jumps. Why the heck aren't you doing this now? Like, come on. We're talking 20 years. We've been taught how to do this polished. There is a polish to this that can look good. I don't know if that is going to be improved later on, right? Sonic's slow movement, unfortunately, he does slide a little bit in terms of the animation, but that's fine, that's expected. Why is it when you're moving slowly towards rings, the collection still goes wild like that? Like, just have some blending between things. Have some modified alternatives. If you're walking slowly towards rings, you should collect them really, really easily. If you're running past them, then they have the boost feel and they sort of launch around you and the air pulls them towards you. That's what should be happening. There's no alternatives here. It's just one version, which is if you were running fast, it would look right. And even then, it doesn't look that good. It looks very unpolished. Here, did you notice it? This one is really, really egregious, right? This is scary. Look at. Did you see the animation he performed? let me show you. Oh no, man, this is really annoying. Right, okay. So let me show you what he does here. So he's gonna jump. He's jumping left. He's performing his left jump animation, and then going right. Right? And look at how static that animation is as well. There's no smoothness to it as well. There, and then that's the end of the animation. Why is there no leftover motion? There needs to be leftover motion. Again, Mario taught me this, right? Mario 64, not Mario 64, but Mario Odyssey taught me that you have to have this leftover motion. I do it on Tubby Supercat now. All of my Tubby Supercat jump animations have a leftover motion that lasts about 2 or 3 seconds. There needs to be leftover motion so that no matter how quickly he lands on something, he's always animating through his motion the whole time. Here he's already ended and he hasn't even moved right yet. And that's because they've used the wrong animation. I don't know if they've used the wrong animation or they've just put only one animation yet. But you are showing this to the public and there's less than half a year left. There's about half a year left till the release, right? Why are you using the left jump animation for jumping right? And you can see they'll use the same one again here to jump left. And it looks okay, but again, it's static, right? Watch this jump here. And it's ended. He's not even reached the rail. This is a pre-made transition, right? In my setup, in the setup that you're looking at right now, when I jump between sections, I have set that to exactly 1 second. I know that the animation, if it lasts exactly 1 second, will be animating throughout its motion that I've created the whole way, right? Here, they know how long this jump is going to take, and that's kind of the standard amount that they'll put between grind jumps, right? For all of the gaps with any grind. That transition is going to take the same amount of time no matter how long the gap. Yet their animation doesn't complete the whole motion, right? It stops halfway. It's only half the amount of time. That's bad. And remember, I mean, it should be at some level of polish that I don't notice these things, especially that left jump here. Let's go back to normal speed and we'll carry on looking at it. I don't want to do that because it might have trouble with the recorder for some reason. That left jump, and again, look at how the rings are being grabbed in. Again, this engine should be designed to be able to cope properly with this, right? So these rings go around, and then they're being collected as they're behind Sonic. Look, they're getting thrown behind Sonic as they're collected. And it just gives the game this really rubbish, low quality, fan-made feel, right? And even the fan games of Sonic have way better polish than this. Especially the streamloads just driving me crazy. Again, a highlight of this, stream loading is an engine thing, right? They're gonna really have to work on the engine for stream loading to be upgraded, but there's a game sitting on top of it. And it's their flagship tech demo game, right? They are not going to risk modifying any of the engine tech right now unless it's really needs it, and it really needs it. On the original trailers, no one noticed this before, you know, in the first sort of teaser trailer, no one noticed this because they faded black and then faded back again, right? Fade to black and fade back for those kind of areas where he suddenly changes rotation, and you'll see that later on. But my god, it's a scary level of low quality here, and it's not just stuff that would be easily polished, right? It's not stuff. They're obviously showing off really cool things, but you'll notice, like everywhere you look right now, let me just show you. Everywhere you look right now, one of the biggest problems and the reason this world doesn't feel like a Sonic world, there are no loop-de-loops. Yeah, sure, you're probably thinking, what's this thing? What's all these Yeah, only grinding. Only loop-de-loops. Loop-de-loops only exist in grinding in this game engine so far. Here you can see a real highlight of what's happening in the game. And I'll tell you what's happening here is the speed of Sonic is at max right now. This is literally his high speed running. Why? Because as you run past this, it gets thrown by the wind. That means they're considering this Sonic's kind of general top speed. This is general top speed for Sonic when you're not boosting. It's basically a Final Fantasy game, but a less good one right now. I mean, I don't know what's going on. Why is he not jumping off of this? Like, look at this. That move. And then, yeah, we'll count that as an access. There needs to be a transition there. He needs to jump into that, even if you don't press jump. Like, why is he not? The enemies are a little bit confusing, but they don't touch upon that in this video. Again, really static jump animation there. There's just no loop-de-loops though. Look around the world. There are no loop-de-loops because I don't think the platforming engine, which you're going to really see a mess here, I don't think the platforming engine is really designed for Sonic. It's designed for Final Fantasy. It's a battle game, right? It would be fine, but look carefully at this rock face here as Sonic runs on this puppety. Good goodness, man. Watch this. Just watch this in slow-mo. Like, you'll understand. Sonic needs some smoothing on his character controller. And he needs it before this video gets released to the public, right? But it has been released to the public. Watch Sonic's movement here. Okay, he's stuck to the rock. He's stopped there. Completely been stopped by the fact that there's a rock there. Now he's facing this way, suddenly, and then suddenly he's gonna flip to the other side again. Because he just caught on. He's running on the wall, but doesn't actually realize the normal of the wall has changed. So he just carries on running at that angle. Look, here. Stop, and then move, and then now he's running at the wrong angle. Right? And then suddenly he gets it fixed. Now he's got a nice animation which considers the ground angle. But why is it only here? Like, it's sudden. You see how they didn't blend into that? None of this cared about the fact that there is a side, a sort of wall angle. Right? None of this. All of this, he's just playing his regular animations. And then suddenly it's steep enough that he's playing his wall animation. Why is there no blend? There needs to be an animation blend. He needs to be much more next gen. Right now, I'm watching Sonic 06 10 years later, 15 years later, 20 years later nearly. Right? That's what I'm seeing. In slow, look at it. He's just trying smoothly kind of pulled towards it. I mean, that would be fine. That would be fine if it wasn't so stiff. It's so slow and stiff, right? Everything's stiff. The rings are just appearing behind him. I don't really like this on-screen effect as well. It feels very on-screen rather than in-world, and it's trying to be in-world. The stream loading, you can just constantly see problems with it. I know that I'm being critical here, right? But you have to understand, I've been in AAA as well, and I can tell you where things can't improve in the next 6 months, right? And there's some basics of the game that should be done right now, and they should be near polish done. And they're very unlikely to improve them soon, within the next year or 2 years. I think this game needs to be delayed. Like, it has to be delayed. If it isn't delayed, this is the final game, right? And this bit, again, maybe it's a storyline thing, but like, he stands here in order to push this thing, and then he's telekinetic. He's using telekinesis. It would be so cool if he actually pushed it physically. But I don't know, like, he's just got telekinesis. I don't know, but it just has, right? It's part of the game. Here the engine kind of collapses a little bit. You can see that they're switching. I don't know if it's a baked shadow or a baked light map that they can switch out here. But you can see where it's switching, and it's switching at the wrong time. Like, they've just kind of done it in the wrong way. It should have already switched this section so that the light map is showing the outside once this is closed. But what happens instead is it waits until it's all the way open and then switches the light map, right? So you can see here, this shadow here is coming from this rock. This shadow here cuts off here, and then the door is actually shadowing this whole area. And then suddenly, there it is. You see how the door's now be deleted? Right? So suddenly the shadow has gone, right? That was the door's shadow, still there. And the problem is that they're trying to show off the engine here, and they're just doing it in a... Again, it's like they're missing a little bit of care, right? You should have thought about when that shadow gets disabled, right? When that gets disabled, when that light map gets swapped. You should have thought about it, but watch this section now. There it is. It happens after the camera's even started transitioning. It's not even during this animation that it happens. Let's just have a watch of that again, really slowly, right? My mouse is really double clicking all the time, right? So it's still there. Okay, fair enough. The camera started moving and then it went. And that's just, it's not good. That's not good. It means you haven't really thought about when that should happen. Like, you need to start. Where are the game designers? Where are you guys? You come back. Get off your holiday for a moment, okay? Please. This move, again, it's really nice. I think they're going with the sort of Sonic movie style now. They're trying to get that blue trail, which they did in the Sonic Boom TV series as well, but this is more like the movie's trail, right? But what I don't like about this is again, the move doesn't have physicality to it, right? It doesn't make sense. In Sonic Heroes, what you would do is you'd jump and you'd press the attack button and he'd perform that whirlwind, where Sonic would physically go around the object fast and then he'd stop off and there'll be a whirlwind coming out. What I think they should do with this move, and I don't know whether they would, I doubt they will, is once he completes it, he should stop, take control away from the player for a split second, and perform the whole thing backwards, or follow the loop again, right? In his physical shape, right? So literally go boom round the thing so that he legitimately creates the whirlwind, and then it makes sense. Otherwise, we're kind of in slow motion, but also not in slow motion, and suddenly there's just wind coming out of nowhere. There's no logical physicality to it. Just, I can produce a ring and I have telekinesis and all of the rocks around me just appear out of nowhere, right? And it's like, these things are right behind him. All of the stream loading is like anything that's just beyond the edge of the screen is completely cut off. But it gets much worse when you actually see the trees in the background being, and the draw distance is so low. Again, that really puts the engine into question. It's like, okay, is it running that slow? But maybe, and I kind of feel this is a problem, IGN's video quality is so low, I have to question. I mean, this is a 60 FPS video, but it's running at 30 FPS, clearly, right? Clearly the game itself is running 30 FPS or slower. And I question whether they're running it on IGN's computers, because for a gaming network, they don't really seem to have a clue how to run a game. Sorry, IGN, I'm not bad-mouthing you, I'm kind of telling you what I see. But look at the trees in the background all the time, right? So these areas here, no loop-de-loops, there's nothing Sonic about this whole area, there's just no complexity at all. And then these objects are appearing in the background, right? The problem is, you should be in a regular engine, right? This would happen even in the old GTA games, right? 3D GTA games, since GTA 3. In a regular engine, what you would see is some low-quality LOD models of the things in the background, right? They would appear there, and as low quality, and then as the game streamloads them in, there would be a high-quality model showing up. But that's not happening in this engine. They don't have low-quality LOD models of the things that are in the background. And I'll show you that here, right? Watch this. So here, as he gets into this thing, come on Sonic, you don't need to walk. Right, there. Watch what happens here, right? So firstly, this object is right in front of us. It is the focus of what's going on. They had to stream load in the object we're already focused on. You see how it's not fully loaded? They reloaded this object for some reason. The stream loading is really questionable, right? They stream loaded this in. In the background here, you can see these shadow areas, right? Let me try and capture that. So here you can see suddenly starts up. Or maybe it is fully complete. It just looks like it's an empty object. Okay, so this foliage here was right next to Sonic. That's been stream loaded in again. This was in front of the camera. This was just to the side of it. Right, so this was already there. This section here. So if you look on this section here on the left, right? What you can see is that there's a shadow of all the trees. That means those trees are already there, pre-baked in the light mapping of the level, right? So they already have a pre-baked set of trees there. Nothing's being generated, on the fly. There's no runtime stuff going on. They are generated and placed there. So where are all the LODs? Where's the low quality imposter trees? Why are they not in the engine already? I've used proprietary engines, which are very early stages, and they already have LODing working properly, right? And they do it automatically as well. Here, when are they going to put those LODs in? Are you going to, how are you on? I would expect that if you're importing models into the engine, either your brand new engine would probably be generating LOD meshes, or the artists would already be putting those LOD meshes in when they import the original, first pass models, right? Just to make sure that the gameplay systems have already got a version of the LOD and everything's working, and then you can replace the models if you need higher quality ones for final polish. But you don't have any, and this applies to everything. Everything in the world just pops in entirely. There's no low quality version of it in the background at any point. It just appears constantly. And here we've got the entire hedge area, the entire forest of trees there is just appearing out of nowhere. It's not like there's no low quality version of it, right? It just appears completely, entirely in its entirety. That's the final high quality model. This is nowhere near release quality. These are engine features, right? Engine features, and there's a game sitting on top of it. This is the only rock area that I could see that looks like a Sonic loop-de-loop. There is no way that he runs upside down in that, right? So Sonic literally does not run upside down in this game, other than on grinding rails, right? You have no control. The game is built in the manner that Sonic 06 hub worlds are built, right? Look at Sonic 06's hub worlds. Watch Sonic move around. You see how he suddenly changes directions on these kinds of objects? Like here, it just sort of suddenly bump and then pop, pop. And look at his run speed. It's stopped. It's a static run speed. This is the max speed. This is what you're running at, right? And that's exactly what's going on here. Sonic is just running at this set speed, right? And you can see it. Look, you can see how immediate it is. And I know, again, they're trying to kind of have a much more solid feel to it. Because, like I said, it's supposed to basically be a Final Fantasy-like game, which is what you can tell from the combat video here, which has the most frustrating sound effects ever. Like, I really don't like the balloon puffing sound effect constantly. It's just... It's kind of annoying. But, yeah. But... again, I don't even want to be just complaining about the game. It's just everything about it has no logic or this is what really gets to me, right? Watch this, right? Okay, so he's performing these kicks. You understand kicks, right? You slide, you swing your foot forward, it hits the thing, that's an attack. You understand a kick as an attack. You understand a punch as an attack. You understand Sonic's dash as an attack. You understand him jumping directly at something and using his feet or using his entire body as a force. You understand Sonic charging up before something happens. And you understand him performing flashy poses in order to show his moves, right? But what on earth is this? What is that? Why is he miles away from the character with no logical or legitimate physicality or physical reason as to how he got there or why he's there? What is this move? It looks, you would expect that might be a charge up, but it doesn't make any sense. He's not dodging anything. He doesn't seem to be charging. His actual attack seems to have come from here, just here. It's a tiny attack, and the actual move. What did he do? No one knows what he did. Was it a kick? Was it a dive? And you can see in this next hit, the game will show you that it does have stuff like that. There you go. Exactly that, right? So this attack makes much more sense, right? So he pops out, he performs a nice charge up maneuver in air. He even shouts woo, and then boom, the flashy pause. Look at me, watch this, right? And look at me, flashy pause. This is my move. I'm going to hit him with this. It is a kick, bang, and then you completed it. And then this again, completely unpolished. Look at this move, right? That already looked like a fan game animation, like almost no animation. He's just being swung around. And then there's this, and immediately just suddenly completely finishes animation. This is an RPG engine, not a Sonic engine. It just doesn't feel like Sonic. None of this feels like a Sonic gameplay mechanic at all. There is no... It's so worrying because... Well, it's not worrying anymore. Like, I know this is the final product. Because there's nothing in the next 6 months. Unless... Please just do a Sonic movie on this and refresh the whole damn thing. Like, just do a Sonic movie job and say, we're delaying it. We're gonna listen to everyone. No one's happy. This is a terrible idea. We're going to redo some of the designs, some of the ideas. Like, I'd love to just know the storyline here, but I don't think I ever want to play this game. This is not a Sonic game. This is a Final Fantasy game with a Sonic character model. Like, this is a modded Final Fantasy game with less moves. That's what it feels like, and a far lower quality engine, it seems. Please, Sega, just figure it out, because this one's not good. This one's really bad. This is Sonic Boom all over again. Except Sonic Boom has more logic to it, right? This might be lower quality than Sonic Boom. These things look like they are 2D. Does it feel to you like that's a 2D object just spinning around in the middle of nowhere? And then there's this 2D effect on screen that pops up. I don't know, it's scary how low quality some of this is, right? How unfinished everything is, and I get it. This is probably earlier footage, but if this is even done within the past year, this game is seriously in trouble. It's very, very seriously in trouble. Anyways, I think that's about everything, right? I'm tired of this. I don't think there's I don't think this game is going to be good, guys, unfortunately. And yeah, it's unfortunate. I just wanted to kind of go through the footage that we have and see if there's anything that I could explain here that someone could come up with and say, hey, that can just be improved in the next year or so. But I don't feel like any of the things that are the problem can be improved. A lot of this stuff is just not possible. It's just not possible. Anyways, thanks very much for watching this video. I'm sorry it was a long one, but I just wanted to go through some of the details I'm looking at here. It's a mess. See you guys in the next one. Bye.